What if I told you one of the healthiest foods in your kitchen might also be one of the most underestimated? I'm talking about black raisins. Most people think raisins are nothing more than dried grapes, loaded with sugar and something you should avoid. But here is the interesting part. Researchers have been studying black grapes for years, not because they are sweet, but because of the incredible compounds they naturally contain. And today, I'm going to show you something special. I'm going to make black raisins from scratch, right here at home, while explaining exactly what happens inside your body when you eat them. And trust me, one benefit surprised even me. So don't miss the last few minutes. Before we start, let's answer one important question. Why black grapes? Why not green grapes? Because the dark color isn't just beautiful, it's chemistry. That deep purple black color comes from natural compounds called anthocyanins. And these powerful antioxidants help protect the grapes from environmental stress. And when we eat them, they become part of a diet rich in plant compounds associated with cardiovascular and metabolic health. That's why nutrition researchers have been spent years studying dark colored fruits. Now, look at these grapes. They are almost 80% water. But something fascinating happens when we remove that water. The vitamins, the minerals, the natural sugars, the antioxidants, everything becomes more concentrated. You are not creating new nutrients, you are concentrating what's already there. And that's exactly why raisins taste sweeter than fresh grapes. But sweetness isn't the whole story, not even close. Here is something most people don't know. Your blood vessels are lined by a very thin layer of cells called the endothelium. This lining helps regulate healthy blood flow throughout your body. Why should you care? Because healthy circulation supports every organ, including your brain, your heart, your muscles, and yes, healthy circulation also plays an important role in normal sexual function. That's one reason researchers are so interested in the polyphenols found in dark grapes. Not because raisins are a miracle food, but because vascular health matters. And the foods rich in polyphenols may help support it as part of an overall healthy diet. But that's only the beginning. Black raisins also contain something your body needs every single day: potassium. Most people associate potassium with bananas, but raisins contain it too. Potassium helps support healthy muscles function, normal nerve signaling, and healthy blood pressure, all of which are important for overall health. But here is the question: if raisins are so nutritious, why do some people tell you to avoid them? The answer has nothing to do with the raisins themselves and everything to do with how much you eat. We will talk about that right after I show you the best way to dry grapes at home, because one common mistake can ruin both the flavor and the nutritional quality. Now, before these grapes become raisins, something fascinating begins to happen. As water slowly evaporates, the nutrients don't disappear. They become more concentrated. That means every handful of raisins delivers a much higher concentration of natural plant compounds than the same weight of fresh grapes. And that's one reason raisins have been part of traditional diets for centuries. Now, here is something that surprised the researchers themselves. Black grapes are naturally rich in compounds called polyphenols. These compounds act as antioxidants. Every single day, Your body produces unstable molecules called free radicals. When they build up over time, they contribute to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress here has been linked with aging and many chronic diseases. Foods rich in polyphenols help your body maintain a healthy balance. That's why nutrition experts often recommended eating a variety of colorful fruits. Now let's talk about something many people ask me. Dr. T, are raisins bad because they are sweet? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Raisins contain natural sugars, but unlike candy, they are also packed with fiber and beneficial plant compounds. That doesn't mean you should eat unlimited amounts. It means portion size matters. A small serving fits very differently into a balanced diet than eating several large handfuls. Here is another interesting nutrient, boron. Many people have never heard of it before. Boron is a trace mineral found naturally in foods like and nuts. Raisins and nuts. Researchers are studying boron's role in bone health and the way the body handles certain minerals and hormones. While we still need more high quality human research to understand all of its effects, it's one of the reasons while we still need more high quality human research to understand all of its effects, it's one of the reasons raisins continue to attract scientific interest. And now the waiting begins. Drying is slow, but sometimes the healthiest foods require patience. The same is true for your body. There is no single food you that changes your health overnight. It's the small habits, repeated every day, that often make the biggest difference. In just a moment, I'm going to explain why black raisins may be a smarter choice than many processed snacks, and the biggest mistake people make when buying raisins from the supermarkets. Don't skip that part, it could completely change the way you shop. Now look closely. These grapes haven't changed into raisins yet, but inside, something incredible is happening. As water slowly disappears, every bite becomes more concentrated. The natural sweetness increases, the minerals become denser, and the fiber becomes more concentrated too. This is why raisins are much smaller than grapes, yet far more energy dense. But here is what really caught my attention. The darker the grape, the richer it usually is in compounds called anthocyanins. These are the same natural pigments found in blueberries, blackberries, purple cabbage, and black grapes. Scientists have spent many years studying these colorful compounds because they are associated with antioxidant activity and overall cardiovascular health. And here is why that matters. Healthy blood vessels don't just support your heart, they help deliver oxygen and nutrients to every organ in your body, including your brain, your muscles, and every other tissue that depends on good circulation. Now let's talk about something people rarely connected with raisins, your gut. Most people think raisins are only about sugar, but raisins also contain fiber. That fiber becomes food for the beneficial bacteria living inside your digestive system. When those bacteria ferment certain types of fiber, they produce compounds called short chain fatty acids. Researchers continue to study these compounds because they help support a healthy gut environment. And as we learn more about the gut microbiome, we are discovering that digestive health influences far more than digestion alone. Look at this. The grapes are starting to wrinkle. Most people see wrinkles, I see concentrations. This is natural removing water, not nutrition. That's why homemade raisins can be such an interesting whole food snack. You are taking one ingredient and letting time to do the work. Not no artificial flavors, no preservatives if you don't need them, no unnecessary ingredients, just grapes. But here is where many people accidentally turn a healthy snack into a problem. Not because raisins are unhealthy, but because they completely ignore portion size. And that's exactly what we are talking about next. How many raisins should you actually eat? Can people with diabetes eat them? And what makes homemade black raisins different from many commercial brands? Let's find it together. Now take another look. These grapes are slowly becoming raisins. They are smaller, darker, sweeter, but here is something interesting. Many people think the drying process destroys all the nutrients. It doesn't. Some nutrients decrease, others become more concentrated simply because most of the water is gone. That's why raisins are considered a nutrient dense food. Let's talk about iron. Iron is one of the minerals naturally found in raisins. Your body needs iron to make hemoglobin, the protein inside red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout your body. When your body doesn't get enough oxygen, you may feel tired, weak, or mentally drained. Now, raisins aren't the richest source of iron, but they can still contribute to your daily intake as part of a balanced diet. And every little bit counts when you are consistently eating nutrient rich food. Here is another nutrient that often gets overlooked: copper. Copper works closely with iron. Your body actually needs copper to help use iron properly. It's also involved in every production, in energy production, connective tissues, and many enzymes that keep your cells functioning normally. This is why nutrition is never about vitamin or one miracle mineral. It's about how nutrients work together. Now let's go back to one of the biggest misconceptions online. Some people believe raisins are just sugar, others believe they are a superfood that can fix everything. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Raisins contain natural sugars, yes, but they also contain fiber, potassium, copper, iron, polyphenols, and many other plant compounds. Context matters. A small portion of raisins is very different from eating an entire bag in one sitting. This is one of the reasons I prefer making raisins at home. I know exactly I know exactly what's in them. No unnecessary coatings, no extra oils, no unwanted additives, just grapes. And the patience, sometimes the healthiest recipe has only one ingredient. But here is the question everyone asks me: how many raisins should you actually eat? Is there a best time of day? And who should be careful before adding them to their diet? Let's answer those questions before we finish. And here they are: homemade black raisins, and no artificial colors, no unnecessary ingredients, just grapes, transformed by time. Sometimes the simplest foods, as I mentioned, are the ones we have underestimated the most. Now let's answer one of the most common questions: how many raisins should you eat? More isn't always better. Because raisins are concentrated, a small serving is usually enough. For most healthy adults, about 30 to 40 grams, roughly a small handful, can fit into a balanced diet. Enjoy them with yogurt oatmeal, nuts, or simply as a snack. Pairing them with protein or healthy fats may help make the snack more satisfying. Who should be a little more careful? If you have diabetes, pre-diabetes, or you are trying to reduce your sugar intake, you don't necessarily have to avoid raisins, but portion size becomes even more important. Always think about your total diet, not just one food. And remember, no food works alone. Black raisins won't replace good sleep, regular exercise, strength training, a balanced diet, or healthy daily habits. Real health is built meal after meal, day after day, and that's where lasting results come from. So, are black raisins worth eating? In my opinion, for sure, yes. Not because they are a miracle food, but because they are a simple whole food that provides fiber, potassium, iron, copper, and antioxidant rich plant compounds as a part of a healthy diet. Sometimes the best nutrition doesn't come in an expensive bottle, it starts with ordinary foods, prepared with care. If you enjoy science based nutrition and you want practical health advice, you can actually use subscribe to Dr. T Health. Every video, we explore what really happens inside your body when you eat everyday foods, based on current evidence, explained in a simple way. Now, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever made raisins at home, or do you usually buy them from the store? Leave your answer in the comments. I will see you in the next video.